folks, it's time for another edition of What the Heck Are We Doing Today? Today we are going to be doing the 7 by 11. I know, that's way huge. We'll be doing the 7 by 11, and I haven't really come up with a name for this. Chinese, actually it's not just Chinese, it's Asian food takeout, takeaway, box bag, and you can see how very cumbersome that whole title is, and I don't even know what we're going to call it, but it is a forced perspective takeout bag, box, zip bag, all in the hoop, and partially lined, just like we do, okay? And yeah, this is what we're doing today, but we're doing the 7 by 11 because I got so excited and carried away that I forgot to tape to start the videotape for the 5 by 7 or the 6 by 10. And here we are at the 7 by 11 and me going, woohoo, it's time to video. So like always, we're gonna start off with a piece of medium weight cutaway, hooped up and ready to go. Other things you're gonna need, if you're going to do a top attachment, so this one has a side D-ring, but if you want to do one of the other bags, and here's the 8 by 12, which is ginormous. Oh my gosh. This is a big, big bag once it's done. If you're gonna do the top attachments, which the 7 by 11, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. You're gonna need 2 lobster claws or D-rings or hardware. So there is what we're aiming for. So you'll need 2 lobster claws, 2 pieces of gross grain. That is not the same length as that. Woo, this is what happens when you're not paying attention. 2 pieces of gross grain ribbon cut to 3 inches. That other one, definitely not 3 inches. This is why we always check our materials before we get rocking and rolling, so that in the heat of the moment when you're just throwing things on and you're not paying attention, yeesh, you will need 1 zipper that is at least 10 inches. Okay, at least 10 inches. You will need a little bit of ollie fun, probably approximately 8 inches wide by 10 inches tall. To do that partial lining, I probably should have grabbed some water before I got on camera. Yeah. And you'll need white vinyl. I know it's evil. I hate it too, but it's white. It's a takeout box. It's got to be white. All right. Or it doesn't. I mean, y'all can play with it. I don't know. Maybe there's somebody that's using recycled press board that doesn't get bleached. I don't know. But whatever. Okay, so I will give you the exact measurements on the vinyl as we go along. The first thing you are going to do is make sure you're ready for this, unlike me, who just decided to come in here and wing it. You're going to hoop your medium weight cutaway into your hoop. You're going to throw it on the machine, and you're going to run color stop 1, 1, 1. Back in a minute. Okay, folks, here we are. We've got our first color stop down, and it's a little hard to see. Can you? Okay, so there they are, first color stop. Those are the placement lines for our D-rings and or our lobster claws or whatever we want to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take both of my little pieces of gross grain and my lobster claws. I am going to make sure I'm in frame, haha, and I'm going to slip through, I think this is 5/8 inch gross grain ribbon. 5/8 inch gross grain ribbon. I've cut it to 3 inches. I'm sorry, I've been told repeatedly, apparently you can't teach me, that is grow grain. We're gonna call it ribby ribbon. There, it's ribby ribbon. And we want to center it, fold it over, left and right across the placement line. You want it smack dab in the middle. That placement line's about 1 inch because some people want to use bigger ribby ribbon or wider ribby ribbon. We're going to tape it down below, and we're going to tape it up top because you know how I hate floppy metal bits in my machine. Then we are going to take the other ribby ribbon and we're going to pass it through. hook it around. We're going to take another piece of tape, and we're going to line up our in the middle, left, right, center. There we go. We're going to tape it down. Come here. There you go. And then we're going to tape it at the top as well to keep our metal bits from flopping around. We're going to put it back in the machine. We're going to run in color stop 2, which will tack down our ribby ribbon. And we're going to run color stop 3, which is going to give us the die line for our whole bag for all vinyl placement and zippers and yada and huba and all of that good stuff. So I'm going to run 2 color stops, color stop 2 and color stop 3. I will be back in 2 color stops. Okay, kiddos, we have got our ribby ribbons tacked down, and I'm gonna peel up this this tapey tape and this tapey tape, and ooh, look at that mess, leak. Fuzzies everywhere. Okay, and I'm gonna put them aside because you know me, I'm gonna reuse them and blah, 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 blah. All right, so now you see this die line right here. It's 1 inch apart. Most zipper ribbon is 1 inch wide. So we are going to place our zipper, and we want to leave about 1 inch on the left and 1 inch on the right hanging off. And you'll notice my zipper is way bigger than 1 inch on the left and 1 inch on the right. So I'm going to go ahead and snip this down while I have the chance. Okay, we want to center it perfectly. Okay, nice, perfect alignment so that our zipper is right smack dab between the left and the right. And this takes a little bit of planning and playing and blurdy, blurdy, blurdy. And the more OCD, anal retentive you are, either the quicker this part goes or the slower it goes. Because if you've been a perfectionist for a while, you've got the practice. If you have not been a perfectionist for a while, you're gonna sit there and mess with it for a very long time. And now we're gonna come down here, and I am placing tape on the left and right side, although on the camera it looks like top and bottom, and I just pulled it up. Erg, don't tug too hard. Erg. But I wanted my zipper to lay straight and flat and perfect. And I was putting way too much tension on that. I'm just gonna put a little piece of tape here and a little piece of tape there. And I'm gonna check my alignment to make sure that everything is exactly where I want it. And this little fold from being in the bag too long wants to pull up, so I'm gonna put a little piece of tape there. All right, there's nothing in the world that tape can't fix. Ask anybody who's got a collection of duct tape. All right, now we're gonna put it back in the machine, and we are going to run color stop 4, which is gonna tack down our zipper, and we'll come back and I will give you measurements for the top and bottom vinyl. Back in a second. Okie dokie pokies, we have got our zipper tacked down, and I'm going to remove this piece of tape. And I'm gonna remove, our zipper is tacked down. So there's no reason to have these guys here, except maybe I don't want that zipper flopping around in my machine, so we'll put that back there. And then we are going to place our vinyl. So the trick, the key, the important thing about placing our vinyl is making sure that we have really straight lines. Oh, and I told you I was gonna give you measurements. This is the 7 by 11 bag. So the top piece, you're gonna want it 7.5 inches wide by 2.5 inches high. And the bottom piece of vinyl, again, a nice8, perfect line. You are gonna want that bad boy to be 7.5 inches wide by 8 inches. This is all in the PDF. These exact and same instructions are in a PDF, and it'll be how to, and then the name of this bag, which still doesn't have a name. I am going to put some little pieces of tape all the way around to make sure that everything stays laying flat and bucked right up against them zipper teeth. and exactly where I want everything. So nothing shifts and moves. And this is belt and suspenders because gravity's doing some work for you. You don't have to tape down the top, bottom corners, but guess what? I do, because, you know, I've got nothing better to do today besides playing with tape. That's my favorite hobby. And you don't need a whole heck of a lot. It's not, you know, unless you're stitching in a Cat 5 Hurricane outside on the deck of the Titanic while an F5 is rolling through your neighborhood. In which case, what are you doing on your machine? Run away! All right. Okay, so there we go. We've got everything all taped and secured. We are going to run color stop. Now, we are going to run color stop 5, which is going to tack down our upper and lower vinyl. Then we're going to roll right into color stop 6, which is the red decorative. It's going to go enjoy, thank you, pagoda, thank you again. And then color stop 7, which is a winter white. It's going to give us those shading and satin lines. Then color stop 8, which is a dark gray / black for the hole in the side. And then color stop 9, which is the metal handle that comes on most of those little takeout, carry-out, takeaway boxes. And we will be back for color stop 10. So you're good right now, guys. You're gonna run white, red, winter white, black, and dark whisper gray. And those are the design elements. We will be back when we attach that half lining, the ollie to the back. Back in, well, for you, it'll be the blink of an eye, but for the rest of us, you know, it's however long the machine takes. Back in a bit. Hey, and there we are. We have got all of the design elements for our bag stitched out and ready to go. So we are now on color stop. I have no idea. We're on color stop. We're on color stop 10. This is where we are going to attach that sort of half lighting on the back, the ollie. I'm going to go ahead and take up most of my tapes because at this point they serve no purpose. Our stitching has tacked this down. And I am going to flip my hoop over and I'm going to change its orientation so that it's more on camera for you guys. And I'm going to raise the camera a little bit. There you go. All right. So I have cut a piece of ollie that is approximately 7.5 inches wide by 8.5 inches long. And I am going to lay this in such a way that it covers the bottom of my bag, but it also covers up to the zip line. And we'll be trimming that back in just a minute, but we're going to secure it on both sides and make sure that you are out of your stitch path with your tape, because that could be just way too much fun. Yep, we're gonna tape it left and right. There's no need to tape it top and bottom. And we're gonna put it back in the machine and it's gonna tack that down, and then we'll be back for our zipper trick. This is color stop 10, tacking down the half lining, the ollie fun. Okay, so we've tacked down our ollie fun. We're gonna flip this boy over and we're gonna pull off our left and right tapes. And we're about to do our little zipper trick, but first we wanna trim back the ollie up here along the zipper line so it's nice and purty. And I'm gonna take this ollie down the side just a little bit. I mean, once you get the whole thing assembled and you cut and blah, 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 that's not gonna be a problem. But now for our zipper trick, we are going to slide the zipper over to about 2 fingers from the end of our zip. And while I'm here, I see a tail. There we go. Now, most machines get a little finicky at our zipper transitions. So we're gonna put a little piece of tape here so that our zipper head does not, or not our zipper head, our needle head does not catch on that vinyl and rip the whole thing out. We're going to throw this in and we're going to run color stop 11, which is going to give us a die line tack down. Back in just a second. All right, and there we go. We have tacked down our zipper. So what we are going to do is first, before we forget, we're going to put a small slice in our stabilizer so that when we go to unhoop this and turn it, we actually have a hole to turn it through. Durr. Okay, we're going to pull, ugh, I hate those little hairs. We're going to pull back our tape. Tape, 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 tape. All right, and we are going to trim out the plastic from the ribbon on our teeth. We are going to cut all the way to that tack line. However, comma, when we cut out our teeth, we're going to leave about a full 1/4 of an inch, maybe even upwards to a 1/2 of an inch right there, so that when we turn this bag, those raw edges don't floppy out and look horrible. We're going to take our seam ripper and we're going to come down here and we're going to put a 1-inch slice in the stabilizer, and we are going to stuffy, and then we're going to pull through our tails and we're going to put that tape back down. We're going to rotate. We're going to cut that, and then we're going to pull back this tape. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to cut those teeth all the way to that tack down stitch, but we're going to cut the teeth out at about 1/4 of an inch, maybe even a 1/2 inch if you're paranoid. There you go. We're going to lift and separate. No, that's a broad. Never mind. We're going to lift our tails. Woohoo! Showing off. And then we're going to put a little slice right here. We're going to only slice the stabilizer. We don't want to slice anything else. And we're going to stuffy our little tail. Stuffy, and pull. There we go. And then we're going to put that tape back down. Then we're going to flip the whole machine over. There we go. And we are going to cross our tails. Okay. Just like so. I'm going to take a piece of tapey wavy. Ah! Well, I went and got one of them fancy schmancy little tape dispensers, and it doesn't do you any good if you don't get a nice clean tear across. Then you just get raggies. All right, there we go. And we're going to tape that down. We're going to flip it over, and we're going to cross these two. Blah, dee-da, la-da-da. There you go. We're going to tape them down. We're going to put it back in the machine, and we are going to run color stop 12 to tack those down. Color stop 12 will also give us some cut lines for our lobster claw assemblies at the top. We'll be back for lots of cutting and pasting just like kindergarten here in a minute. Okay, fine. We got those tacked down. So we're going to flip this over, and we're going to pull this back. And we're going to take our scissors and we're going to trim pretty much to that stitch line. And we're going to pull this one back and we're going to trim pretty much to that stitch line. Then we're going to flip this guy over and we're going to pull up this tape because there's no sense sewing it into the bag any further than we've already done. And then we're going to pull up this tape because same dealio spaghetti-o. And I spy some little hairs sticking up, and I hate those. Those are awful. So we're gonna get rid of them. And we're gonna get rid of that one, and we're gonna get rid of that one. Odds are most of these are gonna sew outside of the bag, but just in case. Now we're gonna turn this way, and you see this little die line right here. That's going to be on the outside of your bag up here in the seam allowance, so you're not going to see it. We're going to cut to the left and the right of our first gross grain ribbon, and just leaving a fraction. You don't want to cut right on that line, but leaving a little fraction of vinyl there. We're going to fold the whole assembly down and then tape it. Oops, there's another one of those. Snip. All right, then we're going to come over here and do the same thing. We're going to run down the left side, run down the right side almost to the stitch line, but not quite. We're going to cut straight across. We're going to peel up our tape, fold down, and I know you're going, oh my God, you're going so fast. That's why you have a video. Slow it down. Do it in slow motion. All right. Now, we are going to take our back and put it on the front. But we're going to put pretty side down. We're going to line it up left, right, and center. Make sure that our whole bag is covered, because it would be terrible to get this far and then stitch this so that we have a giant hole. And again, there's no need to really tape this guy all the way down and secure it. But for those of you who are anxious, nervous little Nellies, there we go. And we're going to put it in the machine, and we are going to run color stop 13. And it's a double bean all the way around to secure your bag. It goes twice, bean, 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 just to give your seams a little extra. All right. And then we'll cut and turn and finish. Back in a second. And voila, we are done. So let's flip this guy over. And the first thing we want to do is we want to trim this excess stabilizer away from the back of our zipper. And this is where most of you have the most problems. You're like, 98.9% done. Yoink, and you snip your zipper. All I can say, guys, is do not get throttled up. Go slow. Be careful. Seriously, if you're better with scissors, then use scissors. If you're better with a seam ripper, use a seam ripper. But whatever you do, go slow, pay attention, do not mess up right now. You are within sight of the finish line. It would be a massive Greek tragedy on level with Oedipus, killing his father, marrying his mother, of screwing up now. All right, so we are all done there. We are all done there. I'm gonna pull up my tape, and I am going to pop this kid out of the hoop. I love that sound and feel. It's like, yeah, baby, almost done. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't do straight lines very well. So I am going to use my roto cutter and my ruler. And if you are bad with your roto cutter, don't do this. But if you're good with your roto cutter, this is the quick and easy way. Since it's all straight lines, we're gonna have to come back in with some scissors and do some rounding corners, but all straight lines. You wanna trim 1/8 of an inch approximately away from your bean stitch. And you want to make sure that you don't cut your bean stitch, because then you're just cutting a big giant hole in your bag. And then it's not a bag, it's a sieve. All right, almost done. This is gonna have 6 straight cuts instead of the standard 4, because it's got this wonky little, to force perspective to make it look more like a takeaway box. And yes, for those of you who are cringing as I just sweep all of the leavings onto the floor, I am basically the reincarnation of Pigpen when I am in here actually working. Then when I'm done, I pick up and clean up after myself so that, you know, ROUSs do not take root in my studio. All right, we've got 4 corners. We're gonna take our scissors and we are gonna round those corners so that when we turn our bag, those corners tuck out better, tuck in better, fold better. They're not all lumpy, okay? I don't know how to explain the geography of it. I just know it works. All right, we're just gonna round them out. Now, we are gonna stick our fingers in and we are gonna pull up the tape that is holding the universe together. Holding down our ribbon and lobster claw assemblies. We're also gonna take the tape off our zipper. I say that. There we go. What am I doing? Wow, this is some serious tape, guys. I don't know where I got this batch of tape, but wow. All right. And come on. Well, that's only half of it. Wow, that is some serious tape. All right, we're gonna try and open that zipper all the way up. Now, the way I like to turn is I like to stick, scrunch up and stick a finger in one corner and the thumb on the outside, and then flip around and push the thumb out. That gives me a good corner to start with. Then I'll come over here and put my thumb here and my finger there. And wrestling with vinyl. I am surprised the WWE has not picked that up. You know what? We need a female wrestler whose wrestling name is Vinyl. Yeah. I probably need to cut back on the caffeine. Okay, so, and we just roll those corners all the way around our thumb and finger and pokey out. Now, for those of you who have fingernails, which wouldn't be me, or have weak fingers, which would be me, or don't like the whole idea of roly-roly, pokey-pokey. I'm sorry, roly-roly. We're going to do the pokey-pokey. You want something rounded and blunt, but with a lot of stiffness. And you don't want to jab, jab, jab. You want to, because you don't want to jab all the way through that corner and then your bag's ruined. You just want to work it. Work it, girl. Work it back and forth until you can see the seam lines. All right, now, this vinyl has spent its entire life flat, and now we're asking it to do a 180 turn at a seam. So we're gonna roll our seams, but it's not gonna stay that way. What you're gonna have to do is once you get it all positioned how you want it, you're going to have to stack some books on it, or you are going to have to take steam press. I don't recommend that one because me and heat have a sordid and bad history. You could also take, if you have limited amount of space, get it all how you want it, and then put it between the mattress and the box spring in your bedroom. That way it's out of the way, but it's still getting squunched because those mattresses weigh a lot. But we're not finished. We're not finished. Act now. So the first thing that we're going to need, because it's a crossbody, is we're going to need a strap. And usually I don't go into this, but I've had enough emails come in going, where do you buy your straps? And I don't. I mean, Jane's got some great straps and everything, and I love her, but I'm kind of a, nah. So there is this repelling ripstop nylon roping. It's flat, and it's about 1 inch wide, and I get this stuff. I love this stuff. And then I get these little doobie hitchies, and it's, Jane's got some, Country Box got some, but it's a welded rectangle hoop, and then it's got teeth. Can you see the teeth in the inside? And what I do is I take one end and I line it up because it's 1 inch wide and 1 inch wide, and then I take a pair of glass nipping pliers, and I've wrapped duct tape around them so that the metal of these does not mar the metal of this, and I slide them over, making sure that my slippery nylon ribbon does not go floink. And then I squeeze, squeeze, and then I flip it over and I squeeze some more. Okay, and then I tug. Yep, that's nice and secure. It ain't going anywhere. Now, I've folded it over. Ooh, there goes the coffee. And yes, I put it in an adult sippy cup so that if I do knock it over, I don't spill. All right, so we want the pretty sides facing out. So that one goes that way. Line it up. And these go by so fast. I mean, it's faster just to pull them out of the plastic and snip them on and snap them on and be done with it. But as an alternative. Also this way, I am a super tall girl. I am 5'8". Okay, that's not super tall, but that's taller than average for a chick. So I like my straps longer than most straps come. I cut this one to 50 inches, which means it's 25 down each side. All right, now, we're gonna come and attach there and there. And you know what? Yeah, I've got my strap. I got my crossbody going on, but it needs something else. How about a dangle? Yes, of course it's gonna have a dangle. The 7x11 dangle is a shrimp, although Kim keeps arguing with me and going, no, it's a prawn. So we've settled on it. It's not a shrimp. It's not a prawn. It's a shrimp. Shrimp. There we go. And The 7-Eleven comes with the shrimp prom shrimp. The 5x7 comes with a fortune cookie. The 6x10 comes with sushi. And the 8x12 comes with my Japanese sucks because I've got a southern accent. Manko Nico, the Lucky Cat. Except that I like the Lucky Cat and the sushi looks pretty cool and everyone deserves a fortune cookie. So on my bag, my 7-Eleven, which I'm keeping for myself because my wallet fits in here, my glasses and my phone and all of my runarounds, I made a triple dangle of all the other cutie patootie dangles for the other bags. And I am going to put it right up there. Oh, I can't wait to go out and about with my bag. All right, so each of the dangle sets that you get either 1 in the hoop or 4 in the hoop for each of the dangles are gonna be sold separately, but when you buy like the 5x7, it comes with a fortune cookie. When you buy the 6x10, it comes with a sushi. But if you buy the set of all 4 bags, it comes with all 4 different dangles in both 1 in the hoop and 4 in the hoop. Boy, did that sound like a lame-ass commercial. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so there you go. There is your Asian food takeaway box bag, forced 3D perspective with fun little dangles. Peace.